What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? A Texas mom who used a life-size doll to fool witnesses into believing that her daughter was still alive has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Tiandra Kristen was found guilty of tampering with a human corpse and on Tuesday was given the maximum sentence, the same as her boyfriend and co-defendant Kenneth Hewitt got in November 2019 in connection with the death of 2-year-old Hazana Anderson. The child was found at the bottom of Moses Lake on October 31st, 2018, wrapped in a plastic bag, tied up with rope, and attached to a rock, but no one has ever been convicted of her murder. Kristen had claimed that her daughter had gone missing from her stroller in a park on October 28th, prompting a massive search operation. Going back through CCTV footage and witness statements, investigators tracked the last movements of the mother and the child, or what they initially thought was the child. They became suspicious when they discovered a doll dressed in the same clothes the missing child had been wearing in a nearby dumpster. Under questioning, Kristen eventually confessed that the girl had died days before she reported her missing. According to Galveston County Criminal District Attorney Jack Rohde, she had carried the doll around Houston, pretending it was her daughter. The child's tragic last days were eventually pieced together. Kristen had traveled with Hazana from College Station to Houston to visit her boyfriend, and the three had stayed at the Houston Downtowner Inn. According to court documents, Kristen told detectives that Hewitt left the hotel with her daughter to get some food, but when they returned, her daughter was crying. She said that's when Hewitt began hitting her violently on her arms, legs, and face. She said that he then told her to start beating the child, which she did. She said when she wasn't beating the child hard enough, he resumed beating her until the point that she began to drift in and out of consciousness. She said they put the child, who still had a pulse, in the bathtub and ran cold water in an attempt to revive her. She said when they took her out of the bath, she saw evidence her daughter had been sexually assaulted. She said they later realized the child was dead and cold to the touch, having tried to heat her up with a hairdryer, but only succeeding in burning her skin. They then wrapped the body in plastic and put it on the back passenger's floorboard of her car, where it stayed for 3 days before they eventually drove to the lake, where they weighed it and dumped it. She later led police to the spot where the dive teams recovered the body. A medical examiner testified that the bruises on Hazana's body were not enough to kill her. A cause of death could not be determined, thus no homicide charges were ever brought. It took the jury just 20 minutes to come back with a verdict on Friday and 40 more minutes on Tuesday to deliberate her sentence, where she received the maximum possible. And rightfully so. That is one of the most low-down, dirty stories I've ever heard. It's one of the it's just totally evil, fam. For someone to do their own child like that, to do any child like that, but your own flesh and blood. There are truly some low-down demonic people in this world. This is further proof that the devil walks the earth. The mother and the boyfriend. They are some of the worst of the worst. Boy, some of these kids don't stand a chance. The people that have been authorized to protect them the most seems to harm them the most. To the mother and the boyfriend, collectively, your mama should be embarrassed and your daddy should have pulled out. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?